Hey, what's going on? Happy Thursday. I need my days of the week shirt, but this is Ryan Set the Pace Triathlon. Doing a quick little Facebook Live on some tips to help you get from the start line to the finish line. And if you're like me, you have a birthday every year and you get a little bit older every year, and things just don't work like they used to. I'm not going to claim that I'm feeling super old or anything, but I am feeling my age. Mornings are a little bit more difficult. Just things in general hurt a little bit more. I can't do what I did when I was 26 years old. I'll put it that way. I'm 43 at this point in time, so while I do consider myself very fit, very active for my age, most Ironman athletes probably are in that category. I am getting older. My body is definitely changing. And one thing I have noticed is it's more and more difficult to be in the aero position on the bike, on the road for extended periods of time. Now, indoors on my trainer, it's not as bad because you can always sit up on your seat, you can change your positions, and you won't fall over. So it's really not that difficult on the indoor trainer. But when I get out on the road, about an hour into it, I could definitely tell that my body's not liking that position. So I'm going to go over a few tips that I've done to kind of make this transition as I age a little bit more acceptable, because I want to keep doing Ironman distance races, keep on doing 70.3s. So these are a few things that I found that kind of helped me over time. Is first, fix your fit. I have had several fits done. I've had this bike for 3 or 4 years and done, I think, 3 or 4 Ironman races on it, and several training rides. I use it on my trainer all the time. So I've had a fit done when I first got it, and then I had a fit done last year where a guy actually came to my house and fit me in my basement here in the pain cave, and we did that. He came by 6 times. So every time I went out and I rode, I did some races, did some tweaks. So we've gotten the bike kind of the best we can to give me the, it's a combination of optimal power, optimal position. It's not just slamming it, being, the most aerodynamic possible. We brought the bars up a little bit. I've got broader shoulders, so it's a little bit more difficult. I've had to space out the arm pads a little bit more than I normally would. So just get the proper fit. And check every year, because we all change. Just like you get a tune-up on your bike every year, you might want to get a bike fit every year, especially as you get a little bit older. You're just not going to be as flexible. Let's face it. You can do what you can do, but old man, or is it? It's not old man winter. It's time marches on, or whatever you want to call it. You get older and you're a little bit inflexible. So it just happens. So fix your fit first. You need time in their position. So that's why in my training and why I assign to my athletes, if you're doing your log rides inside, indoors in the trainer, spend time in the aero position. That's the best way to get used to that position. There's a factor of if that fit is good, if your body's flexible, and if you're used to that position. So it can be the best fit in the world, you can be the most flexible person in the world, but if you're just not used to being in that position for extended periods of time, it's not going to work very well. So spend time in that position, whether it be indoors on your trainer or outside riding your bike. And you want to prorate that time you spend in the aero position to how long your race is. If you're doing a 70.3, you're probably going to spend less time in aero position. So if you're doing indoor training rides, less time in the aero position. But if you're doing 112 miles, if you got a road bike or a tri bike and you're deciding which to go on the ride for, I would highly recommend you take your tri bike out and be out there in aero position as long as possible and get your body used to being in that position. If it's just not used to it, it's going to be uncomfortable on race day and it's not going to be very fun. Trust me. I've done the proper amount of training in aero position, and then I've done some spring races where I spent more time indoor in the trainer, and I can definitely tell a difference if I don't spend that time on the trainer in my training, or if I don't spend that time on my bike outdoors in the aero position. So I like to do my long rides outdoors as much as possible. So that helps you get used to that position. Strength and flexibility. I've got my rubber bands, I got my cords, all this other stuff. Core, back, hamstring, all, it's not just fluff work, especially as you get older. To get in that, you need a strong core to hold that position over time. So if you don't have the proper strength, and I'm not talking just leg strength and push-ups and squats, you need core strength, you need stability strength, keep your body in that position for extended periods of time, and you need flexibility. So as you age, if you don't take care of it, I go to a chiropractor once a month, and I'm probably not as good as I should be, but I do flexibility. Just when you're sitting around watching TV or doing whatever, just do some flexibility movements and things. I've posted tons of stuff. There's tons of stuff on the internet. If you want to know more, just give me a buzz. I'll give you plenty of them. So strength and flexibility, don't forget about it. Stretching, stay limber. Stretch after your workouts. Do dynamic warm-ups before them. Do static stretching afterwards. Again, I am not the prime example of what to do, but do as I say, not as I do. If you go and you do your ride or your workout, whatever, and then you go get ready for work, and you hop into work, and you hop in your car and go and just sit at the desk, and you don't do any kind of stretching to kind of lengthen everything back out after you've been in a bike position over time, your body just going to kind of, over time, it's not able to kind of get back to its normal shape. So you're going to have problems. So make sure you've got a good stretching routine and stay limber. The other thing is, if you do have a desk job, whereas I work from home, I'm self-employed, but I do sit at a table and I do sit at a chair for extended periods of time. So you need to build in, you need to make sure you're ergonomic in your positioning. You're not slumped over in your chair all day. You're not leaned over like I am on this bike right now for this video. And make sure you're taking frequent breaks to get up and walk around. I mean, we've all said it 100 times, but be ergonomic with the, if you're doing a bike ride for an hour of the day, the 24 other hour or 23 other hours in the day, you have a good bed for your back and body, and you've got good ergonomics for however you're sitting at your desk, your standing desk, whatever you're doing. Make sure you're doing the right thing there too, because over time, if you're not in a good position, your body will pay for it, especially if you're in an aero position. So be ergonomic outside of the time you're not doing training. At the end of the day, if you can't get comfortable in the aero position, or it's just not working for you, don't be swallow the pride a little bit. If you need an aero bike for doing Ironman distance triathlons, then do it. I've had plenty of athletes that just cannot get in the aero position, cannot get comfortable. Their backs just don't want to do it. And they do the Ironman on a road bike. And, they do the Tour de France on road bikes. And somehow they survive. So you could do extended periods of time on a road bike. You could be in the drops for a little bit more aerodynamics. You could put clip-on bars on a road bike. It's a different frame, different geometry, so it could save you over time. So you may have to swallow the pride a little bit and go out there and do a road bike. You're not going to have the, slick tri bikes everybody else has, but who cares? If you're comfortable coming off that bike and you can do it efficiently and you're in a good spot for doing the run, then who cares? Do it on whatever you got to have. I've got my road bike back there. So if that works better, if just you can't get the fit and you've done stretching, you've done limbering, you've done flexibility and strength training and all that other stuff and nothing, and it's just getting worse, consider going to a road bike. And if you got to do it, do it. I mean, people are out there doing Ironman races on the fat tire mountain bikes. I mean, there's nothing that says you can't. So at the end of the day, it doesn't work. Find something that will work. So that's my quick tips for as we get a little bit more mature with age and our flexibility isn't quite there, or that tri bike just isn't fitting as well. That's my tips. If you missed any, if you came in late, I'll post this video up on the Facebook group, post it on my YouTube channel. You can watch it up later. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments, or comments just in general about other ideas maybe that I missed. Put them in the comments. Ask me questions. Always happy to answer them. So we will hit you back hopefully next week with another quick tips on Facebook Live. And my phone worked this entire time. I am so happy. We'll talk to you next time.